today we're going to do a little bit of a cook-along with Myles from Mindful Chef. Hello Myles.
Hi Fearne, how are you?
I am good. I am definitely ready to make something delicious and nutritious and have a good old chat with you as well. Hopefully everybody at home is ready to also cook along or watch this and perhaps make it a bit later on, because you told me already, Myles, this is quite a good, easy vegan recipe that we're making today.
Mate, super easy. We've got a vegan pestarisa tofu and roasted vegetables. It'll take us less than 30 minutes, probably around 25. It's one of our customers' favourite dishes, so I hope all you guys at home, and I hope Fearne you enjoy it as well. We've actually cooked this recipe live with Victoria Pendleton not too long ago, and it's one of her favourites as well. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going to enjoy it tonight.
Well, if it's good enough for an Olympic champ, it's good enough for us, that is for sure. And also, I'm glad that we're using tofu, because I think there are quite a lot of people still suspicious about tofu. They don't trust it. So this is going to be a really good way of making it taste sublime.
That's it. This is the game changer. This is the game changer right
Good.
now.
So I've got my Mindful Chef bag here with all the stuff that's been delivered with all the ingredients in. And I'm just going to follow you. You tell me what to do and I will get cooking.
Yeah, great. Okay, so first step, okay, let's make sure we've turned on the oven and boil a kettle, okay? Nice and easy, always starts with Mindful Chef, so just head over to your oven, turn them on, okay, and then if you've got your kettle, pop that on as well.
My kettle's boiling, you can hear that in the background, that's doing its thing.
Nice, okay, great. That's like the Mindful Chef, mindful like moment, beginning of cooking, turn your kettle on, everyone knows we're going. So if you're at home, let's get all your ingredients out, okay? So you can see, what I've done is taken out my bag, taken my box, taken out the bag, put everything out. And we should have a lemon, we should have a courgette, yellow pepper, some tomatoes, parsley, sun-dried tomatoes, the pestarisa paste, and then we'll have some quinoa and some tofu. Now your tofu, it won't be in the brown paper bag, okay, it will have been sent in this guy, okay, so this is our recycled denim offcuts, okay, insulation, keeps all your sort of things like tofu or your meat and fish, all of that stuff fresh for up to 36 hours. So that's where your tofu will be if it's not in the brown paper bag, okay? So you got it.
And also I've got my little recipe booklet, which I'm a bit of a hoarder and I always keep these afterwards, because if I loved one of the recipes that I cooked, or I've got that stuff in the fridge normally or in the cupboards, it's always good to go back and just use it as a little recipe book basically. So yeah, always hold on to those, they're well handy.
Yeah, they're good to use. Right, okay, so first step, what we're going to do, we're just going to chop up the pepper and the courgette, okay? So let's go for the yellow pepper first. Okay.
And how are you doing thin slices? What's your preferred?
Yeah, we're gonna go thin slices with this one. It doesn't have to be super thin, just pretty casual. But the idea will be to keep them relatively similar sizes with the courgette. So.
Okay, I'm just copying you.
Yeah, just copy me. Nice and easy. So, how is lockdown treating you, Fearne? Are you all right? How's the family?
Well, I think like most people, it's been a time of anxiety somewhat, with everything being so up in the air and unknown, and it's just definitely been an intense experience, and kind of watching other members of my family have difficult situations to navigate. It's definitely been an odd one, but I think there have been some nice moments, and certainly cooking has been one of them, because the kids aren't at school having cooked dinners and I'm not at work grabbing something on the run, so we have done a lot of cooking. And I hate to say it, I'm getting to the point where I really need some inspiration. Like normally I'm fine and I like it, making recipes up and experimenting, but I'm running out of ideas. So this is where you guys come into play, because you do the thinking for me, which is great.
Well, that's it. I think, as you said, loads more people have been getting into cooking, or back into it, I think. Everyone we all were eating out so much, and then we were forced to actually cook at home, and whether it be dinners or lunches or whatever, we just got a bit more time. And actually that's probably one of the really nice things is, you're getting to spend more time as a family or with partners or friends, flatmates, whatever it might be, actually cooking together. You're probably cooking, new exciting recipes and ingredients. So that's one of the positives, I suppose, from it all, which is nice.
Absolutely. What are we doing with the courgette?
Courgette, right, okay, so let's top and tail it. So just take the two ends off. Okay, and pop them over. And then what we'll do, Fearne, is we'll just chop it in half, like lengthways. And then we'll just do half moons, okay? So nice and easy. You know, similar sort of thickness to your peppers, so they all cook relatively similar times as well. And who's the main cook at home?
You know what, Jessie's a really good cook. We've both been doing a lot, but because I'm probably a little bit more of a control freak than Jessie is, I've been sort of trying to gain control in any way that I can because I'm not good in chaos. So I probably have done the majority, but that's not, you know, him ditching out. That's just me trying to be organised and feel like I've got some sort of handle over what's going on. But we've made some cool stuff. We've been trying to use lots of sort of local produce and seasonal stuff. So I've been making weird things like a rhubarb loaf, which was actually okay. It was perhaps like a little bit too chewy, but it was quite good. So yeah, lots of weird experimenting going on.
A rhubarb loaf? I haven't heard of a rhubarb loaf. I'm gonna have to go and check that one out afterwards.
Well, you won't be able to because I've literally made it up. I just stewed it and whacked it in like a cake mix, but it was fine.
It worked, yeah? Okay.
It worked, I think so.
Cool. Let's grab a tray, okay, and then we'll get these veggies in the oven. Okay, nice and easy this, so.
Am I just whacking them on the tray with some oil?
Yeah, that's it. Pop it on the tray. Okay, we'll do, yeah, we'll put some oil on there. Quick tip, like, if you've sort of popped, if you've got some chopping and some prep to do, just leave that pan, or the tray, sorry, I should say, in the oven, let it just heat up quickly first up.
I did not do that, but
no,
anyway,
sorry, I
will
should
next
have told
time.
you before. Put that on. So yeah, we'll just do a bit of oil, and then also we'll pop a bit of sea salt on there as well.
And a bit of salt, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. And then we'll just give them a bit of a shake. Okay, make sure they're all coated in the oil.
I'm just looking through my extensive spice rack to find where the blimmin' salt is. Where's Jessie done with it? Oh, there it is.
Fearne, you need to leave that out. Seasoning's your friend, you know? Just leave it on the top.
I know, but I'm a neat freak. I can't bear things being on my counters. It does my head in. I can tolerate oil being out, and that's it. Right, so that's all done. So we're popping that in the oven, yeah?
Yeah, let's pop that in the oven. Okay, and that will be going in for about 20 minutes, okay?
Okay, are you setting a timer? Am I setting a timer?
I've got one going, it's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, that will be going in for 20 minutes. After about 10 minutes, we'll pop the tomatoes in as well, okay? So what I want you to do next is grab your quinoa, okay, and we're going to pop that into a bowl as well, okay? Oh, into a pan, I should say. Okay. And what we'll do is cook this off for about 15 minutes, all right? What's been your like? Do you tend to cook the same recipes? Do you have like a go-to?
Yeah.
Like
Well, what I've been doing is I've been doing a lot of cooking leftovers in an inventive way, which normally involves just making it into some sort of stew. So I'll always kind of fry up some like leeks or onions with loads of garlic and ginger, and then whack in like some courgette, some peppers, and then maybe some tofu, and then just put stock and quinoa and beans in there, and just let that cook until it's all nice and juicy. And I'll do that while I'm making the kids' dinner. So then once we put the kids to bed, me and Jessie have something that's ready to go. Because if I had to then cook a whole meal after bedtime, it would be a bowl of cereal because I'm done by that time of the day. So there's always a bit of Virgo organising going on with dinner time in this house.
Okay, nice. Let's grab our tomatoes and we're just going to chop them in half, all right? So pull those out. Yeah.
What about you? How have you been? Because obviously you cook so much anyway for work and all the recipes that you guys are coming up with. Have you been enjoying experimenting in lockdown, or are you kind of a bit over it now?
Do you know what? I love cooking. I think it's like a time of the day, that and sort of training or like running, whether it be running, yoga, like mobility, whatever. That and cooking are like my two major or like main escapes from everything else that's going on. And you know, whether that be from work or stuff in personal life, or actually, you know, sometimes might be a break from the family for a little bit, but then also the flip side, actually I love cooking with my daughter, with my wife as well. So, you know, the nice thing has been actually my wife's probably had a chance to cook more, like, and experiment with more recipes than she would normally. You know, she'd be at work as well, and at the moment she's at home, so she spends some of that time sort of at lunch, whether it be at lunch or dinner, just actually cooking some different recipes, which is really nice.
And is your daughter a good eater? Because, you know, I do sometimes feel slightly frustrated with, especially during lockdown, the kids' meals, trying to think of things that are inventive, and you might spend like half an hour making something they've never had before, and they're like, I'm not eating that, and you think, why didn't I just give them blimmin' fish fingers and chips again, which they would have eaten? Do you know what I mean? It is frustrating. I think, you know, how old's your daughter now? She's quite tiny.
Yeah, 3.
3, yeah. So that's a tricky age with some kids. How is she?
Yeah, do you know what? She's pretty good. I think the secret is not to beat yourself up too much about it. I think you just got to continually try. So I think probably like you're doing is cook them something else, and then when you cook your dinners as well, maybe either keep some of it or beforehand, maybe just see if they'll try some of it. She's actually quite good though. Like the other day, so the pestarisa paste, which we're going to use today, is absolutely delicious. You guys, it's going to like blow your mind when you put it on this tofu, right? And it comes from our supplier called Bellazoo, who are one of the most premium, like high quality suppliers in the UK. Amazing story behind them as well. Go check it out, the 2 founders, Adam and George. But they do a delicious like aged balsamic vinegar. And we had it over this salad, like, you know, there's a bowl of salad the other day, just like, you know, spinach, like lettuce leaves, tomatoes, carrots, cucumber, quite basic, all there. With this, drizzled with this balsamic, and literally I come back to the table and Sienna's just there eating away all of this, like, all of the salad. And I was like, guys, I've cracked it.
Just get the good balsamic.
Salad, get the balsamic on there and they'll do it.
That's so good. My son loves balsamic. Rex has got really weird little favourites that aren't necessarily like, you know, bad foods or junk food. They're just funny combinations, and he really likes chickpeas pan-fried with balsamic. That's his favourite.
Oh really? Yeah, I could see that. Well, I like the sound
Pretty
of
nice.
that. I might give that a go.
Give it a go.
Right, so hopefully everyone's keeping up. Right, so what we've got going on, veggies are roasting away. We've got the quinoa on. Okay, that'll be going for about 15 minutes.
Oh God, I've not put my quinoa on. I forgot to put it on.
Come on, get it on. That's all right, it'll be okay, because the veggies will still take another 15 minutes.
I'm too busy chatting, I can't multi-skill.
While Fearne's doing that, everyone else, hopefully you've got, you know, you've got your tomatoes chopped. What we're going to do with the tomatoes is we'll pop them in to roast about 10 minutes, when we've got about 10 minutes left of the veggies roasting, so they can
I missed that, what's going on?
Well. Don't worry, Fearne, we're not talking about it. It's just,
what do I do now? Have I put my tomatoes in?
We're not doing them yet. We've got about 5 minutes for those. What we're going to do next is grab your tofu, okay? And this is fresh stuff, okay? So that's why there's a bit of water. What we're going to do, go over to your sinks, cut it open, take the tofu out, and then we're going to dry it off, okay? We're going to pat it down a little bit, so let you guys crack.
I'm usually quite good at cooking with distraction, because normally I've got 2/4 kids. Well, my stepson's now 18, so he's not a kid, but 4 people shouting at me about something, and I'm usually okay. But today, it's because we're just having a nice chat. There's no stress.
That's it. That's what cooking should be, an enjoyable experience.
It's not in this house, though.
No, not in many households, I don't think.
Oh my God. It's unreal. And usually they'll come over and go, what are you cooking? What are you making? Which I don't want them to see, because then there's the chance they'll go, oh, I didn't want that tonight, and you're halfway through it. I've got to keep them out the kitchen. Right, so we're going to pat our tofu dry.
Yeah, pat it dry. This is the secret to getting crispy tofu. This is what everyone forgets to do. If you don't have any like paper towel or whatever, just use one of your tea towels or something like that. And it's not the end of the world if you don't have anything. It's just you will get a crispier sort of texture. So if you can do it, do it. Nice. Okay, and it doesn't have to take ages. Just pat it and be done. And then what we're going to do is just sort of cut down turn it so it's sort of lengthways are horizontal, if that makes sense.
Yeah. A landscape tofu.
Pardon?
In landscape.
Yeah, landscape, that's it.
Yeah.
Very good, landscape, like that. And then we'll probably do about a bit less than a centimetre, I'd say, and we'll just chop down, okay? Just all the way through. Like that. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got about 8 pieces there. So, and remember, this is for 2 people, so we'll have a good portion of food here. And then once you've done that, Fearne,
all right, oil in the pan.
Yeah, grab a frying pan, and we'll just pop some oil in there. Okay, and then we'll pop that one on sort of medium heat.
I'm going to film this on my phone so you can really get involved in the action, guys. Hold tight. We're going over to the hob. And then you just pan frying them like this, like little steaks?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do it for about 5 minutes on each side, okay? So as you can see, hopefully, if everyone's keeping up, you know, we'll get the tofu into the pan, and then we'll be able to put the tomatoes into the tray in the oven, and then we'll have about 10 minutes basically. And all we got to do then, 5 minutes with the tofu each side, and then we'll be able to sort of plate everything up after that. There's not too much else to do. It's a really simple recipe. It's going to taste delicious. It's super healthy. It'll be a good dinner.
I have broken one of my very neat tofu slithers, but we'll have to not worry about presentation so much.
Yeah, that is very much my attitude, Fearne, so I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there. So yeah, just pop your tofu into the pan. What we'll also do is just give it a little sprinkle of salt as well over the top.
On the tofu?
Yeah, on the tofu.
Salt, there you go.
What's your favourite tofu dish, Fearne? I know you eat a fair amount.
I use it a lot. I mean, what I've been doing recently in those sort of stews is getting a really nice smoked tofu, which already has a lot of flavour. And I'll just fry that with all the leeks and the garlic and the ginger before I put the stock in. Fry that for a few minutes so it's a little bit crispy, and then put the stock in. So I love doing that. But sometimes I will just get it, fry it like this with some oil, and then just have it on top of a salad with some chickpeas and a load of veg. I probably eat it every day. Sometimes I get the smoked stuff and just slice off chunks and dip it in hummus. Is that a bit gross?
Yeah, I mean, I think people get really put off because they don't cook it very well, or they get really bad. They don't have like a good tofu. You know?
I love the stuff.
You need like a firm textured one as well.
Yeah.
And then it cooks a lot better. Nice. Okay, so what we'll also do while waiting, let's get the tomatoes onto the tray as well, okay?
Okay.
So we'll do that. What?
Just retrieving an oven mitt.
Yeah, come on by yourselves.
Do you need to put more oil in, or are you just putting them in like that?
No, you should be all right actually. Should be all right because they've got a bit of water content in them as well.
They'll be all right. Just scatter them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What we'll also need to do is get the sun-dried tomatoes in there as well, actually. So, look in your bag, pull out the sun-dried tomatoes. Try not to eat them all.
They're my favourite thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm like, one for you, one for me.
Oh my God, they're just the dreamiest thing.
Okay, so just roughly chop them up. Don't make them too small because they'll get a little bit lost then with all those other vegetables. So just roughly chop, should be fun.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is sorry, I should have said this before, we'll get them back in the pan as well, in the tray, sorry, into the oven.
They're going in the tray as well, okay.
Yeah, they are.
Right, they're going in. Did Giles tell you that I bumped into him in the supermarket?
Did you? He was following you again, was he?
I can't get rid of the guy. Yeah, I came out of the lift and I walked straight into him. It was bizarre.
Fearne, I've been trying for 5 years and he still hangs around, you know?
Right, that's all cooking nicely. Do I need to turn my tofu over yet?
No, not yet, but like you said, just keep an eye on it. It should be all right. If it started sticking, then you might need to upgrade your pan.
No, mine looks fine.
What's that?
It all looks fine, the tofu. It's doing its thing very well over there.
Yeah, it should be all right. We'll just check. Yeah, it started to get some colour, so we've probably got another couple of minutes on that one. What we'll do in the meantime, Fearne, is we'll chop up the parsley as well, okay?
I'm so glad that this recipe is parsley and not coriander, because I've got a great hate for coriander.
Oh, do you? See, my wife's the complete opposite. Hates parsley, loves coriander.
I can't stand the taste of it. It's horrendous.
Okay, well, everyone else, it's actually quite nice, so don't listen to
Parsley's
Fearne.
ace. Parsley we're into. We love a bit of parsley.
What we're going to do, yeah, Fearne's already gone because she's a master chef, but if you guys are at home and you're wondering how to sort of chop up parsley, the best thing to do is you can actually fold it in on itself, sort of like that, just doubled up, and then you can sort of keep your claw towards the end and it all sort of sits there. And then all you have to do is run your knife through it, just like that, okay, all the way along. And then what you can do is turn it, like flip it 90 degrees, and then go through it again. And there you go, nice and easy, okay. Quick little tip there for you, and there you go. Nice small bits to be used in the cooking. Easy, easy. Nice, so what we'll do in a minute, we'll start flipping the tofu. Your quinoa, guys, you keep an eye on it. I'd probably, if all the water's gone, pop a little bit more in, but that won't need too much longer. That's probably got another sort of 3 minutes, so don't add too much, but just enough that it's not going to stick to the pan.
Okay, that's all good.
Okay, nice. And then what we're going to do next, okay, so probably got, I reckon, let's check our tofu.
Oh yeah, it's got a lovely golden colour. Shall I flip it over yet?
I'm going to leave mine for another sort of 30 seconds or so.
I'm going to copy you, obviously.
If yours is ready, go for it. And what else have you been doing? What else have you been doing in lockdown? I know you're busy all the time, but what have you been doing with
putting this festival together has literally taken over my whole life. It's been so worth it because it's been just an amazing adventure to kind of try and work out how to do it, and I've been able to speak to loads of lovely people and also take part in some pretty cool and unusual classes and workshops and also some really magnificent talks. So it's been wonderful, but juggling that with no kids at school has been interesting. We've sort of, I don't want to say given up on homeschooling, but we're close. It's so hard.
It is hard, isn't it? Fearne, let's go back to our tofu. Give that one a quick flip now, I would. So I think we're probably on the right time for that.
Okay, so let's try to flip it over now.
Yeah, flip it over.
It's looking so good.
There we go. So yeah, hopefully you guys are cooking at home. You've got a nice golden colour now on the tofu. If it has stuck and it's gone a bit scrambled, don't worry. We'll get it on the next time. See, one of mine's broken. That's all right. Have a look though. Maybe you want to invest in a new pan. Maybe you didn't use enough oil. We'll know for the next one. Right, so that'll be about another 4 to 5 minutes, and then what we'll do is we'll get that amazing pestarisa in there. Now, pestarisa, okay, the one we're using, it is vegan friendly. You know, it's like a Mediterranean smoky tomato flavour.
Yum.
It's absolutely delicious. It's what's going to really transform this dish. If you're not a fan of tofu, you will be after this. So it's delicious. I love it.
Look how neat your tofu is. That is so neat. Mine is. I'm going to film it over here on my phone. The presentation is disappointing. I mean, look at mine versus Myles's. Oh well. It will still taste delicious. Quinoa's doing all right over here. You know what? I've had so many friends who have contacted me this lockdown, and having listened as well to the last series of the podcast, obviously which you guys sponsored, they have found that subscribing to Mindful Chef and getting their, whether it be, you know, weekly bags or however they've done it, has been such a game changer, especially that first bit of lockdown when it was a bit scary going to the supermarket and you kind of didn't know if you were going to get anything. So, I mean, you must have had the most phenomenal feedback from people saying how helpful it's been.
Yeah, I mean, that's lovely to hear. Thanks, Fearne. Like, you know, I think the most important thing from our point of view is, like you say, people going to supermarkets, or actually, you know, where I live, there's only one little shop and there's nothing in it. Like, you couldn't literally get any food there. And sort of I think what we said was, well, as long as we can stay open for and sort of take on new customers, which luckily we have been able to do, and you know, help as many people as possible, then, you know, we sort of committed to doing that. But, you know, yeah, I mean, being on the podcast, that was great. It was amazing. You know, went on your good friend Holly's one as well, and I think you've probably got a big overlap of actually people who listen to the same ones, because we get loads of great feedback from, you know, both sets of podcasts, and I think it's just opened up Mindful Chef to loads more people who probably didn't know about it.
That's so great. Well, Holly Tucker's brilliant because she's so up for like just helping new businesses that have been, you know, built from the ground up by individuals. So, God, I really should be checking what's going on over here rather than just keep chatting. My quinoa is good.
But like you say, Fearne, I suppose like the thing was, yeah, lots of people probably hadn't used it before, and then they didn't really have another option, and they thought, okay, well, I'll see what this thing's all about. And actually, you know, we've done big surveys now, lots of people have gone, do you know what? I actually didn't realise how easy it was to get things delivered online, and I didn't realise how much I'd actually enjoy cooking again. That's like the great thing out of all of this. When you make it really easy for people, everything's provided, actually people just find it quite enjoyable. You know, you wouldn't necessarily always cook tofu, or you would never use pestarisa, or, you know, whatever it might be. And actually people are going, oh yeah, this is quite nice. Look at my plate of food. I'll Instagram this, or I'll send it to my mum or my dad or my brothers, sisters.
And you learn some new recipes that then become your favourites, which is a lovely thing as well. You know, there's a lot of my friends who really don't normally have time to cook because they work super late, or, you know, their jobs require a lot of travelling around, and they've been cooking so much this last couple of months, and they've kind of really thought, right, well, when things do go back to any kind of, you know, normal, they'll really keep on cooking rather than spending a load of money in restaurants or getting takeaways. It's so much cheaper.
100%, and I think that's the great thing. I think, and actually the great thing is people just spending more time with their families or their partners or their friends that they might live with, and actually they're cooking and sharing that experience. Right, so Fearne, what we've got to do now, everyone keep your eye on that. I'll take your quinoa off, keep your eye on the tofu, and what we're going to do is add that pestarisa in, okay? So you've probably got it in sachets if you're at home. I've just actually put mine into a bowl just for ease. And what we're going to do, just get that in, try and spread it out over the different bits, and we're just, oh, smoky. And what we'll do is we'll just cook this off for about 2 minutes. Okay, so not very long, okay? But you just want it to coat that tofu. And what I'm going to do is spread it out, and then I'm going to flip the tofu over, okay?
Oh, that smells insanely good. Yum. So did you just say you just flipped the tofu over? Pardon? Did you just flip the tofu over once you put the pestarisa in?
Exactly, yeah. So I want it to coat both sides essentially. So what I've done is thrown it in, coated one side, flip them, and then what I'm going to do is do exactly the same on the other side. Leave it for about a minute. Okay, spread it all out, and then flip it, cook it again on the other side.
How are our veggies doing? Are they all right for time?
Yeah, the veggies will be all right. I think if they get, you know, if they have an extra minute or two, they'll be absolutely fine. And then while that tofu's sort of going, keep an eye on it. What we'll also do is add half of the parsley into your quinoa.
Into the tofu?
No, into your quinoa.
Into a quinoa.
Yeah, that's it. Get the parsley in there. And we'll also do a squeeze of lemon juice as well. So take your lemon, cut it in half. Okay, and as you're putting this lemon in, okay, good tip. I know Fearne already knows this one, so she'll be all right. She can just follow in a minute. But just keep your hand sort of there, and then you'll catch all the seeds that go in as well. All the pips, I should say. And then just squeeze that lemon juice in. And then once the veggies are done, we'll also get them into it as well. Maybe give your tofu another flip. And you'll start to see a little bit more colour now from that pesto risa. That's also on there. And that is going to taste delicious. Right.
Oh, dreamy.
Okay, so while that
so
tofu
good.
is just cooking for about a minute or so on that side, let's grab all our veggies. Let's try and get them into the quinoa pan. Give it a little stir, and then we'll be able to plate up.
Okay. So tip them into the quinoa pan, yeah?
Yeah, do you know what I might do though? Because I've used quite a small saucepan, is I might actually pop the quinoa straight into my tray and then dish out from there, if that makes sense.
Put the quinoa on your tray.
Well, no, you've got a big pan, so you do it. You put your
right,
veg
right.
into your pan. All right, I've used a
Got
small
ya.
one, so.
Look at all those lovely colours.
Yeah, exactly. This meal, I mean, you know, we've got loads of vegetables. We've got the courgette, pepper, tomatoes. We've got the sun-dried tomatoes. You know, it's going to be delicious. Fearne, keep an eye on your tofu as well. Don't let that one burn in the background.
Oh yeah, I reckon that's ready actually, my tofu. Take that off the heat. Oh my god, that smells so dreamy! Shall I pop some of this quinoa on my plate now?
Yeah, so just mix it all in. Okay, so coating in all that flavour as well. Okay, all that vegetable, those vegetables will have been cooking. They will have released flavours. Get that into the quinoa. Okay, a little bit of salt as well on top. There we go. Give it a quick stir, and then, like you said, Fearne, we'll just plate that up onto 2 plates. And what you're also going to see when you sort of cook with lots of vegetables, you know, actually you get a really good portion of food as well. So this should be a really filling, delicious dish. Hopefully everyone's able to keep up who's cooking at home.
Oh, look at that! Dreamy!
Fearne, I know you were talking about presentation earlier. I mean, I'm throwing it all over the shops at the moment, so we'll see.
One little
who's
selfish
one
plate
better.
for me. I'm going to use the bits of tofu that are really neat, and then when Jesse gets back, he can have the messy ones.
Yeah, nice. I like where your head's at. What's Jesse doing at the moment? Is he?
Dreamy. Not well. He can't do anything 'cause there's no gigs. They've made a new album, so they're hoping to get that out. But you know, the live music business is kind of, I don't know. It's all a bit unknown at the moment, I guess, really. So he's been really helping me out with the kids and homeschooling whilst I've been filming for the festival and organising a lot of it. And yeah, it's been pretty full on for everyone. And a lot of my mates don't really know what's going on with work, if they'll lose their jobs or if they're going to be furloughed until October. I think that's the kind of crazy thing, is that sense of not knowing. But on a food note, Jesse's now been vegan since October.
October. Good on him.
Yeah, he's loving being vegan. Huh?
Is he enjoying it? Is he going
He's
okay?
loving it. He's absolutely loving it, yeah.
Has he thought about, are they going to do any like live Instagram type gig things? You know we both like the Teskey brothers. Have you seen any of theirs?
Oh, love the Teskey brothers.
They've been doing quite a few. I've been loving their stuff.
Yeah, I think they are going to do something like that. I think everyone's having to be so creative with, you know, how they perform or get their work out there. So yeah, I think they're going to have to start doing something like that because they just want to play now. They just want to get their guitars out and and play. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be doing a bit of that.
Nice. All right, cool. Right, so grab your tofu, and then as you sort of said, just place it on top. You already done yours? Sorry, I'm too busy chatting. Get mine on.
Am I putting a bit more parsley on top of there?
Yeah, and then a bit of that remaining parsley, just split that between sort of the two plates.
That.
And then let's have a look. I mean, that's pretty easy, right, Fearne, to do?
So easy. And the smell in my kitchen right now is insane. And you know you're getting some good protein, some nice veggies in there. I mean, it's all stuff that you can, you know, easily get at the shops, this recipe, if you want to do it again. It's not like anything unusual in there. It's all regular stuff. And just dreamy. So dreamy.
Yeah, you know, look, that's taken us, I've been timing it, that's taken us 28 minutes, I think. So, you know, I think we can all sort of dedicate 28 minutes. This is delicious. I hope you're all enjoying it at home as well. You can get virtually all of this in shops, so one thing you'll struggle is for that pestarissa, and also to get a quality pestarissa. That's where you're going to struggle. So you either get it in the Mindful Chef box, or check out Bella Zoo, who are one of our amazing suppliers.
Those sun-dried tomatoes are just heavenly.
Yeah, it's a good dish. Look, I think, guys, I think we should let them carry on and eat, Fearne. I think, thank you everyone who would have joined us tonight. Go and check us out if you haven't ordered before, Mindful Chef. You can also follow us on social, Mindful Chef UK. We put all our recipes online, so you can cook them up yourselves at home. Give them a go, let us know how you get on.
Myles, thank you so much. I so enjoyed that.
Not at all, thanks for having me.
I'm going to enjoy this even more just now, inhaling this plate of food, which is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Myles. Say hi to Giles as well for us.
I will do. Take care.